How long does Scrapped Watchman take you? I summoned a Spectre because I didn't know what that meant, although I did assume that it was like summon an ally, and beat it first try. Not really even fighting it that well. Kind of felt gypped.
Here it is. Venigni Works. Everything you see here belongs to Venigni, the classiest playboy and most brilliant inventor in Krot. Just ask him. Not just puppets. Almost every machine and tram in Krot is supplied from here. You gotta be curious about the guy. What kind of person is he? I wish we could find him. That is, if he's still kicking.
All right. Is it just me, or does Gemini's voice sound completely out of place with the tone of the rest of the game? You've got, like, Sophia, who's like, welcome, chosen undead, to the Hotel Krot. And then you got Geppetto, who's like, my boy, I've welcomed you back. It's good to see you again. And you've got Gemini, who's like, hey, welcome. How's it going? Oh, you should go over there. Everyone hates Gemini from what I hear. Man, looks like you just made it to the Venigni factory. Well, guess there's a bunch of puppets you gotta kill. I wonder how that'll work out. You're my best bud, and I'm here to help. Okay. A ladder. Hey there. Wow, you can hit me from all the way over there? All right, then. No, apparently not. All right, so maybe you can answer me this question. So when I started the game, I got this big polearm glaive along with a bunch of other stuff. So I assume that this is like free items that they added to the game afterwards for maybe some special occasions or whatever, and that you were not supposed to start with this glaive originally, and that originally you just had the 3 starter items that were just different kinds of swords. Because I feel like I'm playing the game wrong. Because it feels like the game has this blade plus handle system going for it with like detaching blades and handles. But this polearm doesn't adhere to that system at all. It was added in the most recent patch, so yeah, basically. Why would they do that? It just feels like, yeah, it just feels like I'm not playing the game correctly. But at the same time, it has the most damage output of any of the weapons that I have, so I'm just going to keep using it. Well, it's replayability for New Game Plus runs. Then why isn't it only available in New Game Plus, is my question. All right, I guess I don't technically have to fight this guy, right? I could just bypass him completely, but I feel like that would be not learning. Can he come back here, considering how narrow this is? Apparently he can. Yeah, so I feel like I'm still not really jiving with the timing on the blocks. Yeah, you're right. It should have been New Game Plus exclusive. Okay, so there are other weapons which are also just a whole weapon without a blade and handle. But yeah, at this point you are supposed to engage with the weapon customization system. So it should have been New Game Plus. You can easily switch weapons if you find something else you want to try, and you can even respec your stats later on if you want to. I mean, that's what I figured. But I just look, so I go to the menu and I'm looking at this blade weapon and I'm like, okay, this blade does 128 plus 40, so it's 168 damage. I haven't upgraded it or anything. So then I'm like, okay, what about my other weapons? Well, I got this thing that does 112.28, so 140, so it's 20 less damage. I've tried using it and it also just doesn't feel as good to use. And then there's this thing, which I haven't even tried, but it does 124, which is also not as good. And because I've been using this, I've been upgrading my technique skill or my technique attribute so that I do more damage with this thing, but as a result this is just increasingly does more damage than these things, so there's like no reason to use either of these other weapons at this point in the game. I think the most important part is finding a moveset you're comfortable with, which are determined by the handles. Well, hopefully I just find a weapon that is, like, actually cool to use. I guess one question I have is, so I have 2 different weapon slots, right? So if I equip one of the weapons in slot 2, does that increase my weight? Oh, it does increase my weight. All right. So switch to this. I haven't actually used this at all. Yeah, okay, this does not look very good. The one awkward thing I have with this weapon, this glaive, is that it attacks weird. So there's like a slight delay between the second and fourth attacks, so that it often makes you think that you haven't made your third attack when you actually when it actually is queued up. Oh my god. I mean, that directly hit him in the head, right? Like, we all saw that, and it did no damage. So I can go that way and up there or this way. So let's take a detour over here first.
Another fine day in the city of Krog. But I wonder, my friend, just where you've been? Oh. Congratulations! You've been selected from this cast of... a little for an exclusive, obtrusive, intrusive transmittal. For me, Arlecchino, the king of all riddles. Now, you know what I'm called, and why I called you, and I want to know your name, but not till we're through. For as soon as I learn that one riddle burned, and I do love a mystery, don't you? Now, only the living solve riddles, as everyone knows. That's a must. When your city is so full of puppets, it seems are about fit to bust. It's time for the riddle. No more waiting. We thank you for participating. By morning, it walks on feet numbering...
Oh, this old one, really?
Just two, no less and no more. It walks on 3 feet when the evening arrives. And if you solve this, then I'll know you're alive.
Well, I mean, like...
Correct. Fantastic insights, caller.
What kind of monster?
Everything has to rhyme, you know. I'm not a caricature. I'm the king of riddles. That said, how do we know you didn't just get lucky? Even a stopped clock is right twice a day, and even a puppet can be accidentally correct just by random chance. Still, a promise is a promise. Arlecchino, tell him what he'll get. Thanks, Arlecchino. Caller, your correct answer has earned you a Trinity key. Doors and keys and doors, the subjects of puzzles and riddles galore. My next riddle won't be so simple to crack. Arlecchino's the king. Not some riddling cheap jack.
How did we obtain this key? From the phone? A key obtained from the King of Riddles quiz out of thin air probably unlocks something. The Sacred Triangle was some organization's secret mark. Rumor has it this organization was Cross Master. So we're borrowing from Pinocchio and Dark Souls and a bunch of other things. And now the Riddler from Batman is a villain in the game. Okay. And that just happened. The morning radio DJ is our next villain. I mean, we got the key, right? So the key must have been inside the phone, so we could have just smashed the phone open and gotten it. All right. I mean, if the goal of this section is to have a very punchable villain, then they're succeeding. At some point, you have to suspend your disbelief because it's a game. I mean, sure. It was a minor complaint. That segment also went on for a really long time. Oh, we found our next stargazer. A chain. What does that do? Oh, it's a throwing item. Electric Blitz is effective for subduing puppets. Get out if you're not a stalker. Alright, well, before we move on and we can go left or up the stairs, let's level up again. Man, I really wish you could just level up at the Stargazers and didn't have to travel to the hotel every single time. Wait, she's gone? Oh, she's over there. Oh, and she moves. We took that from Dark Souls as well. Awesome.
I'll use my power to help you.
Oh, we're 100 short. Well, not 100 short. We're 50 short. Doop-a-doop-a-doo.
Welcome to...
Sell one of these Fable Catalysts.
I'll use my power.
Alright, what are we leveling? Stamina? I don't know. Is 3 stamina a lot? It doesn't seem like a lot. How much does our technique increase? 4 also doesn't seem like a lot. I guess this is incremental, though. Stamina up. And then back to the thing. So that would be the obvious direction to go, but there's also this area over here. Oh, can I open this gate from this side? Apparently not. Alright then, this wheel dude again. Let's see if I've... Oh, this guy as well. This is going quite far for what I'm assuming is a side plot. So maybe the other area is the side plot? Wow, what is that thing? That looks like a thing that I am not equipped to fight right now. Boy, does that look like a thing I'm not equipped to fight right now. All right. What's over here? Oh, whoop. All right. James Sunderland, let's drop down into a hole. Oh my god. The salamander dagger blade and handle. It does... Okay, it does 50... No, it does 65 physical damage and 51 fire damage. What does charge pulse cells and fable charge mean on a weapon? Well, if nothing else, that's a fast handle.
This place gives me the creeps. It's like something's gonna jump out any second. It's okay, pal. Gemini's looking out for you.
Oh, thanks, Gemini. I'm looking out for you, too. Jeez, it does not look like it should be able to hit you from that far away. Oh my god, I'm dying. I don't think I have enough time to go into my menu and grab that. Okay, so... I should probably put this attribute purification thing on the hotkey. Let's put it here. Eh? Move to equipment right here. It just won't do it. Oh, now it'll do it. All right, I just have no health. Let's just go and save. Was this the way to the other thing? Yeah. Ho 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 ho. Ho, ho, ho. You can't follow me. Oh, my God. Corruption. Poison swamp. Well, I'm gonna guess this is gonna go very poorly, but we're gonna do it anyway. Oh, God. Here it comes. All right, we're at corruption. We're taking constant damage. Get this thing, whatever it is. Get it. Get the thing. Oh, it's a weapon. All right, run. Holy crap, this thing has so much health. Oh my God. All right, I'm a stubborn bastard though. Corruption occurs when corruption damage builds up. When the status effect triggers your character's HP slowly drains. Yeah, okay. Poison, you mean? But if it was a since we're a puppet, poison wouldn't make sense, so it's corruption. But it's basically just poison. Let's go get the thing. All right, where is it? Oh, way over there. Wow. All right. So there's only one safe spot to stand in, and it's the right and left sides, basically. All right, we're gonna fight the thing. The puppet of the future. Dodge. Wow, my health is draining fast. Okay. Let's get out of the corruption. So what happens if I climb this while it's aggroed? Oh, there's another ladder over there. How do I get to that? There's just no way I can fight this thing with the amount of health I have and how much corruption I take. So presumably we gotta lower this pipe so that we can... Oh, whoa! Ha ha ha, you cannot follow me down this ladder, presumably. Alright, I mean, I guess I can technically fight it on these tiny little strips of not poison area. I don't know how viable that is. All right, bring it. Oh no, he only goes over there. No, he's a coming. He's a coming. He's a coming. He's a coming. All right. Well, that was not intentional. Step here. Ugh. Yeah, the corruption will very, very slowly drain away. Yeah, we're definitely getting corrupted in this fight. Surely I can't, like, time block this huge attack, right? You know what? This isn't actually going as bad as I thought it would. This just kind of feels like something has not gone correctly with this fight. Hey, get back here. Oh no, I'm corrupted. Oh crap. Okay. Come on, get the ampule. There we go. Corruption again. I did it. Gotta say, that fight felt really janky. Like, if it had just attacked more aggressively or just got more, like, close up. So that was quite the difficult enemy. I wonder if that one respawns if I go rest by the Stargazer. There's a ladder over there. So I'm guessing this is a shortcut later or something. All right, let's just get out of here. Why you keep moving, lady?
I'll use my power to help you.
All right. So we don't have a corruption resistance stat. Interesting. Get our damage up, get our stamina up. We're at 59% weight right now, and 60% means we hit the next tier of weight. So probably want to get this up a little bit more. All right, we need 2213. It keeps reminding me of this every time I come here. Did I pick up a new record that I wasn't aware of? Nope. All right.
Welcome to...
All right, let's sell these. Not the purification ampules. The resistance ampules I might actually want if I'm forced to fight in an area that is like constantly corrupting or something. Sell that, sell that, sell that, sell special resistance to shock, break, and disruption. All right, sell that.
I'll use my power.
Get the capacity up. Back to the Union entrance. All right, so important question, does it respawn? It does not respawn, as I suspected it would not. All right. What? You can come in here. Oh, God. Run. So size is no barrier to entry. Oh, is it? Or is he just leashed to that area back there? All right. No. The deviousness. Nobody else is in here gonna ambush me, right? All right, Scout's honor. Belford shock cartridge. An increase. All right. More defense. Ladder up there versus continuing. Factory manager's report. As per your records, I conducted a quality investigation. It was done secretly. Certainly the quality of Ergo was getting worse over time. I don't doubt the alchemist with the decrease in quality is too widespread to call it a coincidence. At this rate, this quarter's puppets will have a high chance of defects. The most important thing is the quality of the Ergo, after all. According to a reliable source, the high-level alchemists are running Ergo production experiments lately using another method. Personally, I think their secret experiments have something to do with the decrease in Ergo quality. Are they wringing out the bodies of discarded puppets in the barren swamp or something? Anyway, I recommend approaching them carefully instead of complaining to them. Manager Factory 1, Nicola. Oh, we can go over here. I was thinking I probably couldn't. Whoops. Alright. Thread the needle. Oh, I can't step on this. Oh well. Wipe, tighten, and grease. Always check the quality of ergo. All right, sir. How about you? Can I actually just leave, or... Motivity crank. Wait, really? I can actually just leave? Alright, well, I would like to save here and then go back and fight him. So... All right, so we've got a crank now. I just want to check what this does.
I know my way around a weapon. Mr. Venigni is the richest man in Krat. His company manufactures most of Krat's exports. He's, peculiar, but a good-hearted man. Even though he's rich, he treats every employee with respect. I heard he went to shut the factory down. I hope he's safe. I wouldn't want to lose my best customer.
Was it over here? Was this where you used the crank? No, this is Legion Arms.
I know my way around.
Well, I don't remember then. All right, what's the level up requirement? 2315. Do we have anywhere close to that?
Welcome to...
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'll use my power.
All right, we're once again at 58% weight load, so let's just increase the weight load a little bit again. 2,421.
I'll use my power.
I still feel like I'm too low on stamina, so let's go up stamina. Okay. Now fighting shield bot. The Legion caliber, what was that? Legion arm modification part. Delicate devices like this require consistent maintenance. So it's an arm crafting material? Welcome to the chat, Amaya. Doing all right. Barely survived that fight. Because I'm still just not really understanding the timing on blocks. So. Anyway, we can go ahead and use the Stargazer to replenish our heals. All right. So there's down the pipe, there's up there, and that splits into multiple areas as well. So the pipe seems like the obvious go here to progress, so let's go this way. Whoa. Well, crap. I thought I could duck out. He's dead, right? No, he's not. No, he is dead. So many detours. All right. Mm-hmm. Another shortcut. Whoa. Where is the ball even coming from? The fire axe blade and handle. but it's still worse than my current weapon. Masked people.
Ooh, admirers seem to follow me everywhere. Pleased to see you, my stalker friend.
You made it all the way here unbothered by ruffians. You've got talent. I've never seen you before, but who cares?
This may well benefit our former client. Did you catch that subtle whiff of money in the air? Moneybags himself, Lorenzini Venigni, is inside this factory this very moment.
You caught us on our return trip. We had to deny his ridiculous request in person just to be sure it wasn't a joke. All we could do was laugh.
Keep your whiskers up if you're heading in there. He is the richest man in Krat. Or so they say. Who knows? Maybe he's handing out bags of money to lift his spirits.
Ha! That seems unlikely. No way are we doing that.
Well, anyhow, best of luck.
Are you carrying the latest edition of Venigni's Landmark Guide? It's the most popular non-fiction work in Krat these days. Maduro wrote the actual guide, but Venigni published and financed it. It goes for a premium at the shop, but Maduro might not get his cut. He went missing recently, which of course made that volume more popular than ever. If you can get all 3 volumes collectors want, bet you can get 4, no, 5,000 for it at the shop. But you're in luck. I have a conscience and a powerful sense of self-preservation. I'll let this one go for 500. That's a good investment. Don't sleep through it. You'll wish you had this, and the price is a steal. Let me know if you have any interest.
Man, he comes off as such a con man, but it is a video game, so we're just gonna buy anything that's available. Warning, this book has been banned. If found, please report it to the city. Wait, do I already have the number 3 or do I not? All right. Ripped Venigni's Krat Landmark Guide 3. Reading banned books will result in punishment. Are you sure you want to read it? You were warned, but you're reading a forbidden book. You're a bad person. Well, you're reading it, so this is what you get. The roses bloom at the rose estate. Don't know the rest of it. The end. Reporter Cat, this guide was made with the support of the Red Lobster Inn. Yeah, that wasn't worth it.
So, have you had time to read it? It's the first volume I wrote, so go easy. By the way, I need to mention something before it slips my mind. It's a shame that the original author went missing, but I fear you misunderstood this commitment. I am willing to sell my newest book for 500. No refunds, of course. That's a given. But look on the bright side. That volume of the series is not easy to acquire. Take care you don't get torched.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Best of luck to you, my...
All right, so we came from here. So now there's the stairway up there. there's also this location over here. All right, so let's see what's up here first.
All puppets must die. Oh, it's the only way to be sure. All puppets must die. Every single one. I hear the sound of springs inside you. You're a puppet too. You can't fool me. All puppets must die. Kill the puppets! I wish I hadn't run away. I can't tell what's blood and what's oil.
Jesus, this guy has a lot of health.
I can't tell what's blood and what's oil. How many, Leo, to redeem myself?
All right, that seemed quite the progression. So, what's this way? The heck are those? Oh, they are puppets. So this is actually an entirely optional area that doesn't go anywhere. All right. Didn't I open a shortcut back over here so I don't have to do that again? This ladder, right? Oh. No, this just leads back here. Not a shortcut. Is there a shortcut over there, though? No. All right, the long way around it is. Liza P, my friend got me the game and it's a banger. It's decent so far. My major gripe with it at the moment is the guard timing. I feel like it's very difficult to guard at the right time without getting hit. Here's the mask people. So where did I go from here? I think I went up this ladder, right? Or not ladder, stairway. I thought that was easier in Sekiro. Oh boy, do I feel the opposite. I'd never got through Sekiro. Okay, so then I fight these things. Alright, where's my, my death body? I went down here next, I think. There it is. Oh, yeah, this guy.
I wish I hadn't run away.
I have no clue how you're supposed to beat this guy. He also has like 10 million health.
I wish I hadn't run away. away! I wish I hadn't run away!
So close.
How many do I need to kill? How many, Leo, to redeem myself?
You got to get through Sekiro. It's insanely rewarding. How far did you get? I had the same problem with Sekiro that I do with this game, which is just like I don't get the... In Sekiro, it's parrying. In this game, it's guarding. I don't get the timing on it, and then I just get hit all the time. I feel like there's just no way to avoid damage. I mean, I get that there is a way to avoid damage. It's have perfect timing on all your guards, but if you just guard, you still take damage even when guarding. You have to perfect guard at the right time, and if you mess up the timing, which is very easy to do, you get hit. Sekiro, I don't even think I made it past the first boss. The big fat guy with the big curved sword who's in like an area that's all on fire. You wait, guys ain't dead yet? Really? All right, where is it? Is it further along? Oh. All right, so it was up here. And then down this way.
I wish I'd known. Surviving is a hell of its own. I can't tell what's blood and what's oil. I wish I hadn't run away.
God, his range is just crazy, and he can attack multiple times with basically no wind-up. I feel like the only way to beat him is to just cheese him around this table. I did try to block every single one of those attacks. I also don't get the glowing health bar. Like, I understand I'm supposed to do a heavy attack here, but it just doesn't seem to work. Also, sometimes my attacks stagger, and sometimes they don't. And I'm not really sure why. God, I don't even have him down to half health. Sometimes he attacks twice and then stops, and then sometimes he attacks 3 times in a row, so there's never a good opportunity to actually, like, get in hits without just hoping that he doesn't hit you back.
kill. How many?
Venigni Works seems hella convoluted, not gonna lie. I didn't even know the NPC you're fighting right now. There's many directions to go in. I don't want to give up on going in this direction until I actually beat him. Also, I have to keep getting my souls back. Although that's perhaps not true. And there's a guy here just to be a jerk. Alright. So then it's up here. Past these guys. Alright, I'm just gonna go get my souls back.
I can't tell what's blood and what's oil.
All right, we got almost 5,000 Urgo, so let's just go spend this.
I'll use my power.
So let's level up technique to deal more damage. I need how much more? 300-ish? Yeah, about 300. Not enough?
Welcome to...
What's the cheapest thing I can sell? This thing? There we go.
I'll use my power to help you.
All right, do I have enough on me that I can level up one more time? Probably not. Oh, never mind. So 1,000, 1,500, 1,800, 2,100, 2,400. Yeah, okay, we do actually have enough. How much do I need? 27.
Welcome to...
I'll use my power.
Keep up in damage. All right. So now we can go back here. And main goal is just beat that dude. Beat Mouse Mask. Actually, I guess I don't technically have to beat him, right? Maybe the goal should be get through the remaining areas to acquire more Urgo to level up more, finish off all of those areas, and then just warp back here. So pipe is finished off, so then we can go this way. This is not the correct way. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about that guy. For honor's sake, you'll defeat the mouse. I will defeat the mouse eventually, but right now I don't think I actually have to beat him. So what is over here? I haven't even bothered to look. That there is a shortcut. I don't really understand, though, what's the point of these shortcuts?
Oh, fantastic. The pipe fit like a glove. Well, like a pipe that fit. Idioms, you know?
Wow, Gemini sucks. All right, anyway. Because you can just warp between stargazers, so I'm not really sure what the point of this is. But anyway. Okay, that looks...
Accidenti. I have to stop them.
Caution acid.
A little help? Anyone?
Oh.
Wealthy and dashing philanthropist in need of assistance. Oh, easy now. No need to kill me. Surely we can discuss this like reasonable people? Hold on. Geppetto's a friend of yours. Did he send you? I'm fine. Please, help me find my butler Pulcinella. He's a puppet and a friend. Those stalkers were supposed to be working for me, but... well, they bolted and left me to my fate. That was not helpful. My butler went to barricade the back door, and I haven't seen him since. Pulcinella has been a loyal companion. I'd hate to lose him. The factory is, of course, my priority. We must take it back. But please, keep an eye out for my butler. I'd consider it a personal favor and owe you in kind.
It would be more of a favor than saving you? All right. So what if I walk the beams? Walk the beams. Does this do anything? No. That's acid? That looks like green electricity, but okay. Wow, screw you, dude. Just trying to walk here. Descartes' note. The puppet cannot refuse the Grand Covenant imprinted upon manufacture. It must obey the Creator's orders and cannot harm humans. But look at that puppet that was once called Fuoco. Is the Grand Covenant flawed? The once faithful... 1890... Okay. The once faithful puppet now kills humans. It creates puppets instead of fire. It obeys something else other than humans. It's as if someone is controlling it or has a mind, or it has a mind of its own. As if there's a king of puppets somewhere. Is it pretending to be human? Is it a simple defect? This requires further investigation. It's surprising. Fuoco's actions were not simple obedience, but faith. Fuoco worships something as God. I heard there's the king of puppets on Rosa Isabel Street. That must be what is controlling the puppets of Krot, but a puppet having a human ego is a problem from another dimension. There is still a puppet secret that I don't know about. Ergo is probably the key, but those guys are awakening like humans more quickly as days goes by. Someone has to stop them before it's too late for the sake of all humans. I actually wonder if he's also a play on something from Pinocchio. Who? The Venigni? There seems to be a mix of a lot of different things going on here. I mean, obviously Pinocchio, Geppetto, and Gemini are all Pinocchio related, but other stuff seems to be vaguely just like Italian Renaissance-esque. Can I jump this? Aha. All right. Now the big boy. Actually, I should probably take care of these grenade-throwing jerks. And now the stage is clear. Oh. The Workshop Union Standard Radiation Converter. It's up in fizz damage and fire damage reduction, but it's down in electric and acid. It's way down on acid, but it's way up on fire. Oh wait, no, it's only slightly down on acid. So the number to the right of the arrow is how much it's going up or down, and the number to the left is its actual amount. So way down on electric, way up on fire. I mean, this area is presumably full of fire stuff, so it's better to equip this now and then change it later if needed, right? Weight is up slightly. Fire's up a lot. Electric is down a lot. All right. Have you tried your hand at other Souls games before besides Sekiro? I have played Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Bloodborne, Sekiro, Elden Ring, and Neo. Love Dark Souls number 1. I have some big problems with it, but I can look past them for how good the rest of the game is. Dark Souls 2 I found boring and disappointing and too difficult. Bloodborne I also kind of found to be meh. Dark Souls 3, I made it about halfway through the game and then quit. Came back a year later, fired it up, got to about the first level and quit. Fired it up again, went back and went halfway through the game to the exact spot that I'd quit the last time, and quit again, fired it up again, played about the first level and quit, and then fired it up for the 5th time and went all the way through the game and enjoyed it, but man, did it have some problems to get through. And then after that, I was going to be... after being disappointed by Dark Souls 3 initially, I was going to be pretty much done with Souls games until I went back to it. Sekiro, quit on the first boss. Elden Ring, went through the game twice. Do like the game. Still has problems. All these games have major problems. And Neo I quit like almost immediately. So it's been a mix. The only reason I haven't played Demon Souls is because I don't own a PlayStation that can run it. Alright, well this is a boss fight if I've ever seen one. Oh, it's definitely a boss fight. There's the boss fight thing right there. Okay, so I'm conflicted about the summons. So the last time, the summon is very, very good and makes the boss fight a lot easier. But at the same time, it makes the boss fight so easy that it actually kind of robs you of actually fighting the boss. So, but at the same time, if I don't use the summon and then the boss is super hard and I die and then I have to corpse run all the way back here, then there's that's an issue too. So how did you like the parrying in Bloodborne in contrast to this or Sekiro? Also, shame on you for disliking Bloodborne. IMO, the best game ever made, especially considering its lore and depth. I did not like Bloodborne. Okay, I guess I can explain. The first of these games that I ever played was Dark Souls 1. Let me get to an area that doesn't have a constantly beeping alarm. All right. So my first experience with any of these games was Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 1, my problems with it are there are some parts that are far too difficult, and some of them are just straight up bullshit. So in particular, I think some sections of Dark Souls 1 that stand out as being really, really hard or bullshit are the Capra Demon fight, the Bed of Chaos. Lost Izalith in general is just pretty weak, although it's not too difficult. In fact, all of the later parts of the game are kind of bad. Duke's Archives is another level that's awful. A ton of bosses. Capra Demon and Bed of Chaos are the ones that stand out the most, but a lot of other ones suck. Like Frey Demon, Nito. Seethe is not very good. I also didn't like any of the bosses in the DLC outside of the Sanctuary Beast because I think they're too hard. I don't like corpse running. Although I would be okay with having to go get the souls back if you couldn't lose them permanently. So I don't like corpse running, and I don't like being able to lose your souls permanently. And the game is also very cryptic, which is fine for some things, but not for basic mechanics of how the game works. I've never liked any of the Covenant systems in the game. I think they're just convoluted and mostly pointless. I've never liked the multiplayer aspect of the game. I do like being able to read player messages and leave messages, but I don't like invasions. And I wish you could just opt out of that. I think the humanity, becoming human versus being undead, is not very good. And what else? Centipede Demon sucks. And I really don't like the way they do NPC quest lines. So some of them are fine, but then there's others that are so convoluted and you've got to like warp all over the world. There's no way of knowing where an NPC is going to show up or what progresses their plot line. It's the worst in Elden Ring out of all of them, but it's present in Dark Souls 1 as well. There's also just like a lot of items that are in the game that aren't good. And I don't even mean like, well, there's endgame items that are better than others. I mean, there's items that are not even good, that are not good even for the place in the game that you get them. Summons are okay in the first game. I don't think any of them like trivialize the boss fights. I also think there's many sections in Anor Londo that are complete bullshit. The major one being the Archer section, which is one of the worst parts in the entire game. And there's also just a lot of annoying things like just quality of life issues that should have been fixed. So things like the giant blacksmith is not right next to the bonfire warp. You have to waste time running back to it every time. You can't easily check stuff in your menu or easily compare things to each other. Lots of just unnecessarily waiting for elevators to move. Like, why can't the elevator just start wherever I am? If I die, why do I have to move it back? Things like that. What did I like about Dark Souls? Amazing world, some of the best level design I've ever seen in my life, with the interconnected nature of the world and being able to, everything folds back in and loops around to each other. It has this incredible sense of exploration and discovery. I liked the basic fighting mechanics of the game. I thought essentially the fighting never got old, other than when you get ganked by multiple guys at once. But usually, for the most part, the fighting is pretty good. I like a lot of the different items and weapons and that you can pick different play styles. I think that the game is mostly built around a melee play style, and that if you go for magic, it is a viable option, and in fact is many times more powerful than going for melee. But I do think the game should just stick to melee only, but that's personal preference. I feel like the games are more tuned to being built around that melee combat. I really liked the atmosphere, the mood of the game, the lore. I really liked the story in the first game. For however minimal it was, it gave you just enough to piece together what was going on and to have meaningful events like ringing the bells of awakening, meeting Frompt for the first time. I really like the music. All the boss fight music is great. So those are all the things that I loved from Dark Souls 1. Now, the problem is that some of the things that I thought were the best things in Dark Souls 1 get stripped away in the other games. So the interconnected nature of the world and all of the levels folding back in and connecting with each other is mostly gone in all of the preceding games. The lore and the story is also mostly gone. There is still a story, but it's so cryptic that you really don't understand anything that's happening. So whereas in the first game, I understood the basics of what was happening in the story, who the characters were, what my goal was, I didn't understand any of that in any of the other games. And those are big aspects of the game to me. I also think that the other games lean more into the games being difficult, many times to an unhealthy level. And a lot of it is speeding up. Like, if you play Dark Souls 1 and then you play Dark Souls 3, the later games are significantly faster, and you need higher reflexes, and you have lower windows of opportunity to block an attack. It's at its absolute worst in Elden Ring, where so many of the bosses are total bullshit. So I consider this the game's a mixed bag. Overall, I like Dark Souls 1 the best, and I really like... I like Dark Souls 1 the best. I would say after that, I like Elden Ring the second best, and then Dark Souls 3. And then I don't like any of the others. I actually feel the same about it. I don't think there's a good middle ground. The latter sections of Dark Souls 1 are rushed due to development time being at the end, so they just threw stuff together, especially Lost Izalith. Yeah, I mean, I understand why it's like that. I've heard all that backstory before. It still doesn't excuse how bad it is. For me, So, Demon Ruins is okay, but it's brought down significantly by how bad of the boss fights Ceaseless Discharge and Centipede Demon are terrible, and the Demon Fire Sage is basically just a combination of Asylum Demon and Frey Demon, and it's not that it's a bad fight, but it's just kind of boring because you've sort of fought it already. Then Lost Izalith is just total crap. The Duke's Archives is horrendous. I actually think the Duke's Archives is the worst out of all of them. And also has a bad boss fight. The Giant Catacombs are okay. But Nito is a bad fight. And then New Londo Ruins is technically the fourth one, I suppose. And New Londo Ruins is fine. And I absolutely love the Four Kings fight. To be fair, I think not all items are meant to be useful, broadly speaking. A lot of items, like I'd wager 70% plus, are used for storytelling and lore, which is pretty cool IMO because you need to factor in where you found them, etc. I mean, sure, but then, like, why am I getting loaded down with, you know, tens or hundreds of different swords and spears and bow and arrow and all, and like consumable items where 90% of this stuff is useless? And I'm even fine with items being like, okay, this item's not that great, but it's the best you're going to get at level, you know, whatever you have early in the game, and then you're going to move along and ditch that item the moment you get a better weapon. But why am I so often finding weapons even later stages in the game that are just not good at all? I don't like the way they do upgrade system. They do weapon upgrading. So in all the games, the first one is obviously purposefully obtuse with the boss soul weapons. But even aside from those, there's so much that you have to invest into a weapon that it leaves you in this position of, okay, if you are, you know, you have a limited amount of Titanite or whatever else you're going to use in these games to level up. And it's expensive to get either by needing the souls to buy them or having to farm them. And sometimes the resource that you need to upgrade is just straight up not reusable. What is the word I'm looking for? You can't get more. There's only a finite amount in the game, and that's it. So that puts a huge onus on the weapon that you're going to upgrade to be the weapon that you're going to use for the rest of the game. And how do you know that? Like, how do you know if the weapon you're currently using is the best weapon, or if you're not going to find a better weapon later? So it makes you really hesitant to put upgrade materials into any weapon because it's so expensive to upgrade, and you can't break it apart into its base components later if you regret your decision. And then if you are wrong and you do in fact find another weapon that's better, then it's a huge feel bad for having spent so much investing the upgrades into the weapon that you currently have. Also, it heavily disincentivizes you from using anything else, especially the earlier you upgrade the weapon. So if you upgrade the weapon, then you're finding other weapons, but you don't know how good those weapons are, especially upgraded. You don't know what the stats are upgraded. You only know that the weapon that you have now that you've already upgraded is better than everything else you're finding. So is there another weapon that might be really fun to use or might be really good if you upgraded it? Well, maybe, but you've already upgraded this weapon, so you're just going to keep using it. The newer games are way more mainstream, I feel like, especially Dark Souls 3 being a mishmash of a lot of former games and fan service. Discharge is interesting from a lore perspective and just a gimmick fight in nature, yeah. Yeah, Ceaseless Discharge fight, it's not bad in terms of, like, it's super hard, but it's just bad in terms of the fight just sucks. There's only two viable ways of actually fighting him, one of which is janky as hell. Well, no, both of which are janky as hell. And then the fight's just over. I think it's because the games have very limited avenues of letting you know about things. Besides some in-game messages or dialogue, there isn't many other ways of conveying information. For Dark Souls 3, I used Cheat Engine to dupe items and material to try different builds. See, I don't do that. I don't, like, glitch my way into having more resources or use some sort of mods to do that. I just take the game as is. The only time I'll mod something is for quality of life. So I think the only game I can think of off the top of my head that I've modded for quality of life reasons is Subnautica, just to expand the inventory and making crafting easier. I've always looked at the Souls games as games that are in general fun, but have huge negatives that don't need to be there, that hold back the game from being being a lot better and being the kind of game that it could have been as a really great game, as opposed to what it is, which is a great game marred by a bunch of problems. And in particular, I feel like those problems... and when you have the wrong mix, where the problems are too great or there's not enough good to compensate for those problems, you get Dark Souls 2. Which I think most people would agree is not good. But I don't like Bloodborne or Sekiro either. I don't like not having a shield and being in positions where you are 100% forced to take damage unless you are perfect at dodging or blocking. How'd you like the Bloodborne parrying? I never understood how it worked. And the fact that the bullets were limited ammunition means that I just almost never used it. So when I got into Bloodborne and I was presented with the parry system, I was like, okay, so you've got this gun. The gun is your equivalent to parrying. You can shoot stuff with the gun, but it does so little damage that it's not worth it outside of parrying. So then I'm like, well, I've got this gun. It only has a limited amount of ammo. Once the ammo's used, it's used. And I have to go buy more ammo. So it gives you a very limited amount of times that you can experiment with it. And it is really tough to understand what attacks are parryable. Like, first of all, just to begin with, can I parry this attack or not? It is not clear what attacks you can parry and what you can't. And then even when you figure that out, what's the window on it? I've never liked parrying in any of these games. I don't parry. I hardly ever parried in Dark Souls 1, 2, 3. I just block and dodge. So then I get to Bloodborne and I'm presented with a system where you have to parry. Well, you don't have to parry, you can dodge, but... So I just spent the whole game dodging, because I would never use parrying. And then Sekiro is, you have to parry in Sekiro. You cannot get around parrying in Sekiro. And so I never got the timing right on it. And so I'm just like, well, I can spend another, 2 hours playing the game and trying to get the parry system down and maybe fail at it and still be at the same position 2 hours from now. Or I can just quit. So I quit. To be fair, you can trade some life for 5 bullets always. Yeah, but you still have a limited amount. My point is, I'm talking about when you are just new, when you're just getting into it, and you don't have the parry system down yet, and you're just learning. When you're just learning, you need to give me, like, so if you've got this parry system, you need to give me an area where I have unlimited ammo and where I have a very, very easy enemy that has a very easy attack to parry so that I can get used to it. Instead, it's just like, okay, here's your parry. Hope you can figure it out. And so when I couldn't figure it out, I was just like, well, I'm not going to keep wasting ammo trying to figure this out. So I'll just dodge. So ultimately, I did not like my time with Bloodborne. My other problems with Bloodborne are it has all the same problems that I listed in other games. It still has the problem of I have no clue what's going on in the story. Nothing makes any sense. I've got no character that I'm attached to. I don't even really understand what it is that I'm trying to do. Now, for a lot of people, they'll say, who cares? Just play the game for the gameplay's sake. Yeah, well, the gameplay's not that great either. It's, like, fine. I felt also that so much of the game was so samey looking. And I get it, it's, gothic / cosmic horror. But holy crap, so many of the level, like almost all of the levels in the game look the same. There's basically just horror-inspired Gothic architecture that looks like Victorian-era Europe with dark, creepy alleys and cobblestone paths is like 90% of the levels in the game. And there's one part where you go to the cosmic world of the amygdala, which is one level that actually looks different. And then there's like one snowy castle area that's different because it's snowy. And then practically all the other levels in the game look the same. I also think, having finished Sekiro like 4 or 5 times by now, that aggression is always easier than parrying. It's kind of the point too. Like the saying in the game goes, hesitation is defeat. Permanently attacking and keeping aggression up to fill the break meter is mostly preferable to perma reflecting. Yeah, but then you're getting hit, right? I'll tell you the moment that I gave up on Bloodborne, where I said like, oh, this is not going to be a good experience. Well, first of all, there's Gascoigne the Hunter. Is way too difficult of a boss. He's one of those bosses where it's like 30 times on the boss before I get past him. But then there's the other boss that you can fight besides Gascoigne that's optional. The big, like, hairy silver wolf thing. So I went and fought that thing a whole bunch of times and couldn't beat it. And eventually I just got frustrated and I'm like, okay, I don't care anymore. And I gave up on trying to, you know, strategize my way through that fight. And I just ran in and just started mashing the attack button, not bothering to dodge, not bothering to put any thought into timing or, you know, like attempting to get around his attacks. Just mash the attack button as fast as possible. And that was the attempt where I beat it. And I'm like, okay, well, now I don't know what this game is about. Because if I can just run into the boss fight and just spam the attack button with no thinking involved at all, then what are we doing here? There's also later parts of the game where the frenzy mechanic, where just there's some enemy somewhere in the level that's so far away you can't even tell where it is, and suddenly just a meter will appear on the screen that says you're getting frenzied, and then boom, you take a ridiculous amount of damage. And I'm like, what is this mechanic? I don't know why I'm taking this attack. I don't know where it's coming from. I can't stop it. It does tons of damage. There's no way to mitigate it. And so eventually I dealt with that by just keep running through the level and hope you have enough healing. Also, the Chalice dungeons are all boring. They're the equivalent to the Elden Ring randomized world map dungeons. And I get it, they're also optional, you don't have to do them, but it's like, well, then why are they in the game? Well, since Gascoigne becomes a beast type, your cleaver bleeds him and stuns briefly, for example. Also, the Frenzy dude was the brain of Mensis, and you can actually go through it with the Yharnam armor. Yeah, so I don't buy any of these types of excuses where someone will say, like, you'll say, oh, this section's too hard. I don't understand how to get through this. And people will say, well, actually, if you have this one specific item in the game that you may not have even found, that there's no way of knowing you need this, then it's actually super easy. Or if you have this one strat, it's super easy. Like, okay, for example, Dark Souls 1. The Capra Demon fight is total bullshit because it's built on a gimmick of just blindsiding you without you having any time to understand what it is that's happening. So now that I've fought the Capra Demon 10 million times, I can beat the Capra Demon every single time first try, not even an issue. But when you're initially fighting the Capra Demon, you just get swarmed the second you enter the fog door. You have no clue what's happening. Even after multiple attempts, you're just getting annihilated. Is that fight fine? Because now I can get through it every single time without a problem? No. Because in order to get to that point of getting through it every single time without a problem, I had to learn the bullshit off of 30 attempts. So I don't buy this philosophy of, oh, this part that's allegedly really hard is actually fine because if you do this one specific thing that most people are not even going to understand as an option, then it's easy. Anyway, that's where I'm at. Really like Dark Souls 1. It's one of my favorite games ever. Dark Souls 3 is okay. I enjoyed it after I was able to get through it from initial bad first impressions. Elden Ring was pretty good. All these games have major problems, though. Didn't like Dark Souls 2 or Bloodborne. Found both of them kind of boring. And quit Sekiro for being... Not even like... It's not, oh, Sekiro's too hard. It's more like I don't understand the parry system and I can't get the timing down. This game kind of has the same problem. It feels like I'm able to cheese around a lot of the fights, though. Like, you can deal damage or tank hits to some degree without needing to parry perfectly. But, you know, I'm what I would consider a decently far amount into the game so far. I'm not sure how long the game is in total, but, like, you know, I've already fought multiple bosses, and I'm in a position of I still just cannot get this block timing down, and it seems like that is the major mechanic that you need to understand in order to win, you know, in order to get through these fights. I actually hated the fact that you lose max HP in Dark Souls 2 when you died. To be fair, the Chalice dungeons are for special weapons, and some of them have lore items. The way the upgrading works was with the blood gems, right? The dungeons have versions with different slots on the weapon, so you can min-max those stats too. Kind of a collecting appeal, I guess. I remember doing... I don't think I did every single Chalice dungeon, but I did a lot of it. Anyway, I don't like the style of full-on aggro, attack the enemy super quick and block at exactly the right moment, you know, parry at exactly the right moment. I like having a shield and being able to block or dodge as needed. So, yeah, I guess I'm doing a summon. I mean, I got 21 of these star fragments. What else am I using them for? I never did the chalices because I have arachnophobia and don't gamble on the spiders being randomly in there. All right, so to be clear, I have actually seen this boss before from footage that I've seen before of playing the game. But as for like any of his attack patterns, I don't know that. I just know what he looks like and that he's fire-based. All right. King's Flame Fuoco. Where's my dude? There he is. Jesus. Yeah, okay, that was complete bullshit, but sure. All right, where am I going? I don't remember the path there at all. Overheat occurs when fire... Yeah, I know. It was this way, right? Well, it's down here and then across the center. So is it that way or that way? No, this was the way in, so it's the other side. So the big fire robot with the shovel doesn't respawn. I do like that at least the souls are placed outside the boss door, so you don't have to scramble to get them while you're facing the boss. Wait, is this seriously a fog door? Huh. Alright, do I get to retain my Stargazer fragment? I do not, so you permanently lose these when you use them. Alright, I'm gonna fight the boss without it. I'm also on your page when it comes to the summons for the bosses. It's either 1, have a massive advantage with an NPC that has tons of HP and distracts the boss, or 2, do the fights alone and make it feel incredibly hard. There seems to be no middle ground, and the game swamps you with the star fragments anyway. Alright, let's fight the boss without it. The fuck was that? So the other thing is, I feel like you just take way too much damage in this game. You take so much damage that the heals basically run out almost immediately. I also feel like the enemies are just not, like, their attacks are just not readable. I feel like they just hit you and there's no real wind up to them or way to gauge the timing. Okay, so my dilemma here is obviously using the summon would make the boss fight easier, but I feel like if I'm doing that, I'm not really understanding the mechanics of how to block properly. And I feel like if I'm going to continue through the game, I really do need to understand that. Because if I'm relying on summons or just like cheesing my way through the fight in other methods, then eventually if those methods fail, like if I run out of Stargazer fragments or I just come across an enemy that I don't have a Stargate, like I can't summon an ally on them, or the enemy is just like really hard and you just need to understand block timing, then if I'm not learning it now and I'm having to learn it later, so I feel like I should just try to learn it now. All right. Red attack, can't block. Okay, what am I supposed to do when that happens? Just run across the room? All right. I mean, there's nothing to do but just keep trying, right? This is another issue I have. The boss door is like right over there. Why do I have to keep running over to it every time? Can't I just respawn right outside the boss door? Like, what is being added by making me take the extra 15 seconds to run over here? There are these consumables you collect that give you status resistance. Yeah, well, I think if you need consumables to get through a fight, that's bullshit. Okay, so you absolutely cannot block those attacks. You have to dodge them. Oh, you can block that. So literally run across the entire room so you don't get burned. Okay. Yeah, okay, sure. I actually don't have enough healing to survive this, right? Just barely? Yeah. All right, I'm beginning to suspect that the combat system is actually just bullshit. I'm saying this for a number of reasons. First of all, there is no way to avoid damage without being perfect. That's just not a reasonable expectation to have on the player. Secondly, the damage that you take is just insane. One hit is half my health. The healing items also don't even fully replenish your health. They replenish half your health. So it actually is more like 2 heals per health bar. So I actually feel like I have half as much as I actually do. The enemies magnet slide to your position and just have overall moves that have no real telegraph, are so fast that you can't respond to them, have far higher range than what they look like. That last attack, for example, I saw that he was doing the fire attack, and the moment that I saw that, I immediately started running away from him, and even then, I couldn't run far enough away to avoid getting burned. All right. Also, a lot of times it's not even clear what attacks you can block versus dodge versus what attacks are not blockable. I am clicking dodge bear, by the way. It's just not doing anything. I also absolutely hate that you can't cancel out of an attack. A lot of times I go in for an attack, realize as I'm attacking that he's about to attack me back, and then I'm like, well, doesn't matter. Can't dodge out of this now, so I know I'm gonna get hit. Sometimes they attack so fast that it doesn't even matter. Like, there's actually no way that you could avoid it. Why can I block some of those overhead strikes and others I can't block? See, I don't want the game, I do not want this playthrough to be just cheesing through everything. So far, every time I've run across a, you know, quote unquote heavy enemy, like, you know, an enemy that has really big attacks, a lot, you know, a large health pool, I've never beaten any of them perfectly. I've always had to use heals, which means that fundamentally I'm not understanding the guard system, right? Tried to dodge, didn't work. That last, when he does that triple spin move, the last one magnet slides to your position. So he can actually hit you from further away than what it looks like he can hit you from. I don't really use guarding at all unless it's perfect guarding. Don't think there's a big point to it. That's what I'm trying to do. But the timing on it is just so split-second perfect that... Like, if you don't get it perfectly, and this is why I never used parrying in any of the Souls games, because if you screw up the parry, because it's, you know, really hard, you have to do it at exactly the right moment, and if you get it wrong, you leave yourself open to getting attacked for a ton of damage. But in this game, you have to do parrying. Alright, so this boss, I can just never attack him unless he's attacked me first, because if I ever go in for an attack initially, he can just hit me back. think it's somewhat mitigating as well. If you perfect block, you do 3 things at once, so the payoff is pretty big for how hard it is. You don't lose life, you ramp up the stagger meter, and you cancel their move chain like the 3 spin move he does. If you parry the first, he stops the string. Yeah, but the problem is that if you don't do it correctly, then you just get hit for tons of damage. And it's not like parrying in the Souls games where that was one option that you had, but you didn't have to use it. In this game, you have to use it. You can't dodge every attack, and blocking normally doesn't prevent you from taking damage. In this game, you have to do it. In fact, it's the primary method of avoiding damage in this game. And if you do it wrong, which is very easy to do, you take tons of damage. All right, never attack first. Never attack first. All right, run away. Nope. Blocked at the wrong time and took a hit. How many different attacks does he have, too? Jeez. He's got the spin move, which he can do 1 or 3 times, so that's 2 different moves. He's got an overhand strike. He's got long-range oil shot plus fire shot, but he has multiple different ways of doing the fire shot, so that's another move. He's got a quick wind-up kick. He's got 2 different red moves. One's a charge, another one is like a slam. Then he's got another attack that's a sweeping attack. Also, multiple of the moves look like each other or can chain from one to the next or cancel, so you never know if you're free to get an attack in or if you're about to get hit or not. All right, I give up. I'm done trying to do this the normal way. By the way, do you have any other weapons upgraded? I have no weapons upgraded. None of my weapons are upgraded. Because this weapon is the only one that I want to use at the moment, and I don't have the material to upgrade it. Because I need a Dark Moon, Moonstone, something, something, something. Oh my god. Alright, just let my boy handle him, I guess. Tried to dodge that, didn't work. Fire move, run away. It didn't even matter. You take fire damage anyway. All right. Oh, wow. My Spectre died. So I'm not going to be able to cheese this fight then. There's no shot. All right, run away. Nope. So I got to use one of my consumables that I can't get back. All right, this far enough away? Yeah. The charge attack is really stupid. I had no idea what part of the body I was supposed to block when it charged. I mean, the fight's just atrocious, but it's not even this specific fight that's the problem. It's the underlying mechanics of how the combat system works. This fight is just demonstrating how bad it is. You really should, if you use consumable items in a boss fight and then you lose that boss fight, those consumable items should come back. That way you're not worried about using them. All right, well, am I supposed to use my Stargazer, or not my Stargazer, my summons every single time? Because they're finite, and it seems like they don't even help that much here. It only got them down to half with some of my assistance at that, so screw it. Let's just do it normally. Nope. I think part of the problem might also be the weapon I'm using, because the second attack automatically goes for a third attack, and you can't cancel that. Oh, this attack, great. So when you get him down to about half health or so, that's when he starts doing the ranged moves. Just ridiculous. I don't mind consumables because they just make stuff easier, but if you fight without them, it's still possible. I don't think there are fights where you are just doomed without them. I agree with that sentiment, but this fight, you really strongly need a way of negating fire damage, and that is consumables. Like, if you get hit in the fire and then you don't have a consumable to reduce fire, you might just lose on the spot because of that. Do I use another one of these? I mean, it does kind of make the fight easier. All right, let's do it. But I can't just let my Spectre fight by itself. I have to get in the fight. Jesus, I almost died to that. All right, run away. Yeah, the second that fire attack goes off, the Spectre is just screwed. Oh my god. Oh my god, really? Oh. Was there ever even an explanation as to who the Spectre is? Like, I don't think there was ever anything mentioned in the game. It was just like, summon outside help. I don't think there's any context given. I think the context is, you've played Souls games before, you know, it's that thing in Dark Souls, whatever. You don't need to know. Yeah, all right. I'm going to say that the Spectre is actually not of any help in this fight because he can only take him down to about half health before he gets killed by the fire attack. And I can already get him down to half health, so... Oh, this attack. Right, run away. I want to make it clear that it's not the boss fight that's the problem, it's the underlying game mechanics, and this boss fight is just the first time that they have crumbled under the weight of how bad they are. Because so far, all of the enemies have been weak enough that you can reasonably get through them by just doing enough damage and healing. And now we're at this point. So I came to a realization during the fight, which is that I am understanding the parry system. I do get it. It's just the timing is so specific and unforgiving that it's bad. I thought all this time I just wasn't understanding the timing windows. It's like, no, I understand the timing windows. They're just really bad. I don't know how many times I'm going to give this before I just give up on the game completely. We're not at the point, though. You know what, though? I do have 2,600 ergo. I may as well put myself in the best position to actually win this fight, right?
I'll use my power.
So I guess what's the major issue? It's just dealing enough damage fast enough, presumably. That's not even enough? We're just like slightly off, right?
Welcome to...
What's my cheapest thing? Fable Catalyst? Yeah. You could also give another weapon type a chance. I don't think that that's the issue. And I've tried some of the other weapons. They don't really feel that great to me. But I could, yeah. What do we got? This one, this one. I'm definitely not the baton. Oh, I never actually tried this thing, did I? Wait. Oh, I have another glaive? I didn't even remember that I had this. Oh yeah, I picked this up at some point and I just never looked at it. Well, I mean, that's definitely something. It's actually even weighs less. It's just better in every way, except motivity's down, but I'm increasing technique anyway. All right, how does this work? This one actually has a handle, right? So I like... Let's see. Okay, what does charge pulse cells and fable charge mean on weapons? As in, you charge your pulse cells faster while using this weapon? And charge your fable faster? Or the fable does more damage? So the blade is the output, or is the damage output. The handle is the attack style. How do I combine these? I can't do it from here, right? I have to do it back in here. Is it? No, that's the arm. Honestly, the shock arm is not that great. Let's just go back to the hookshot arm.
I know my way around it.
All right, alter handle. Oh, this is where you use the crank. All right, well, this is a motivity crank, so I don't want to use it. But I do want to assemble a weapon. All right, so I want this blade, and I want a different handle. Oh, the handles do change the attack. All right, I guess that doesn't matter if I'm reducing the attack by 11 if I get to attack easier or faster. 25 is quite the dip, though. Fire axe handle versus the puppet saber handle. All right, let's try the fire axe handle. See what that does. Did that... Wait, we didn't change the handle. What?
know my way around.
Alter the handle. No, not alter the handle. Assemble the weapon. This blade plus this handle. Weapon assemble. Do you wish to assemble these? This item is already assembled on another weapon. What? What do you mean? No, it isn't.
I know my way around.
Assemble weapon. Pick the booster glaive. I just want to change the handle. Click this. X to weapon assemble. Do you want to assemble these? Yes. Try it to assemble a weapon achievement. Exploring possibilities. All right. Now we have... Okay, now we've got it. That's not that great. All right, let's try the other handle.
I know my way around.
So assemble, and let's change this one to this one, right? To the puppet saber handle. So assemble that. Oh, as in the item is already assembled on another okay. Man, that was a confusing way of saying that. All right. That's pretty good. I don't know if the speed is worth the damage reduction, though. I want to try one more.
I know my way around.
All right, let's switch out. It was this one, right? Yeah, the salamander dagger handle. That's pretty fast. Yeah, okay, I like the speed on that. How does that compare to the original handle?
I know my way.
So if I change it back to its original handle... How fast does it attack? Yeah, it is a much slower attack. All right. So let's... So which one was it? It was the salamander handle, right? This one? All right. And then all I have is a motivity. Oh, I have I do have a technique crank. When did I pick up a technique crank? But I don't have enough ergo to do it. It increases damage by 9. Oh yeah, what is the fable art on this thing anyway? It's dash forward, then jump back. And that's regular Y. All right. Wait, what determines the fable art? Is it the blade or the handle? Don't know.
I know my way.
So I need 500 ergo. I've got 200 here, and I can sell items. I don't know if I can sell up to 500. I probably can, though.
Welcome to...
All right, let's sell the resistance amp. Let's sell this one. Let's sell these. Let's sell the Fable catalysts. I need 500. Iron protection. All right. Do I permanently lose the technique crank?
I know my way.
Alter the handle, technique crank. Yeah, you lose it. Okay. All right, before we go back and do that boss, let's do the other little mini boss before that. So it was over here. And we got to go through the boulder area. Jesus. It seems like this weapon doesn't stagger them as easily. So then it was up here. Past these dudes, down the ladder. It has less range, too. Oy.
Blood and what's oil? I can't tell what's blood and what's oil. What's blood and what's oil?
By the way, I seem to be taking a lot less damage than usual, so I guess leveling up did help a lot.
I can't tell what's blood and what's oil.
Surviving is a hell of its own.
How many here to retain myself?
By the way, I'm taking part in a Pauper tourney in 2 weeks. I was wondering if you got any tips for attending smaller scale events. Been ages since I played 60 card format games in paper. What, just not Pauper specifically, just events? Print your deck list ahead of time. Don't write it down while you're already there. Use decklist.org. It'll tell you if you have any errors. Depends on how long the event is going to be, but if it's going to be long, plan to either take a lunch break at some point or bring along food and snacks and water, rather. When you're in between games, scout the room so that you know what decks other people are on. Five rounds from 7 p.m. to midnight. Yeah, that sounds fine.
I can't tell what's blood and what's oil.
So because this weapon has a lower range, I find it harder to counterattack. Because I have to get in closer in order to hit him. Jesus.
I wish I knew. That surviving is a hell of a thing.
Best to get dinner before? Yeah. I guess that would have been the better tip. Eat before the event so that you're not hungry while you're in the event.
I wish I'd known. Surviving is a hell of its own.
Oh my god, he can just keep attacking without rest. Oh, finally.
I was afraid to die.
All we got out of that was cosmetics, right? And gestures? Yeah, okay. So where does this go? Oh, that's it? Alright, so yeah, 100% optional on that. Settled on Walls Cascade to try to be a bit cheeky. Also saw your league and you played with it and remembered you were pretty fond of the deck and said it was actually fun to pilot. Don't play Cascade, play Combo. The only reason Cascade exists is for Moto, because it takes a lot of clicks to do Combo. If you're playing it in paper, do Combo. Alright, where's the way back to the Stargazer? It's over here. Okay, yeah. To the hotel to spend this ergo before we go fight the boss. Oh, I have enough. Okay.
I'll use my power.
Just get damage up further. Or vigor, I don't know. Get damage up further. See, having more health doesn't really help that much when your heals heal so little, so... I feel like the tagline here should just be a good defense is a good offense. Alright. Back to smash my head against a brick wall again. Are heals a flat value or percentage? I think they're a flat value. But I actually don't know. I will probably have to upgrade my health at some point. All right. So when you get one shot, it is the time to put points in health. It's either 2 hits death or the enemies spam you with 500. The relevant enemies in this type of game, the relevant enemies ever kills you in 2 hits. Apparently the healing is 30% regardless. That's nice to know. All right, so one thought I have is that I feel like I'm taking way less damage than I used to. So where's my weapons? A gigantic pole weapon from an eastern land. Its massive weight can be borne only by those who have undying loyalty. The hero wielded this weapon for his sworn brothers in the world. The dragon's oath engraved on the glaive has become a legend passed down for over 1,000 years. Damage reduction rate while guarding. Fable arts, deflect counter, storm slash. I don't know if it's just from leveling up a few times, but it felt like I was taking more damage while wielding that weapon. So I wonder if there's like a hidden stat on it that makes the game harder because it's not meant to be one of your starting weapons. I guess I'd have to A/B test that. I'd have to go get hit by an enemy intentionally and see how much damage it does and then switch weapons. I actually do want to A/B test that, actually. So let's... where's the normal enemy in this area? All right. Wait. Ah. Okay, I currently have... Where's my health? 309. All right, so one basic attack from that enemy did... Holy shit, that's a lot of damage. 80 something. So if I switch weapons to the glaive, so I have 222 health right now. So this is the same enemy, and he hits me. All right. No? It looks like it's about the same. So I guess it's from leveling up then. Was it 87 the first time? It was like 100 the second time. $98. Wasn't the second one more? Was it more? If there's a hidden attribute modifier on the glaive that makes you take more damage, then then screw the developers. $10 more damage. Hey, you want to give your players the option for hard mode, that's fine. Don't make the hard mode hidden. Does the game factor in stuff like weapon weight or something, maybe? Don't these weapons weigh about the same amount? I guess, hang on. This weapon weighs 12.9. This weapon weighs 17.9. Again, if it is a hidden attribute, screw them. That's not acceptable. All right, I've been doing these last few fights pretty sloppy, so let's Oh my god. Back to study. See you later. See you later. Wasn't there a damage reduction stat on the weapons? It's while guarding, though. Not just in general. So as I suspected, the speed of the weapon is better, but the range is worse. I almost feel like what I would want is the Spectre to not come in until the second half of the fight. I mean, there's nowhere else I can go. This is the way to go. There's like no other enemy or path I can take to level up more, so other than just grinding. There's no way I can get away fast enough, so... I mean, there's like nothing to say at this point. I don't think there's any tricky trick or special move or angle that I can take on the fight. It's just keep doing it until we get through it. Is this boss generally considered to be very difficult, or am I just not doing well in particular? I did not realize he was about to do the fire move. Crap. Still on my first playthrough, and this is by far the hardest boss so far. I wonder what the total actual game time is going to be when I add this all up later in editing for how many attempts this is going to take. Or like, one, how many attempts, two, how much game time in hours. To clarify, hardest boss until this point. I heard you the first time. Oh no. Jesus Christ, finally.
What do we have here? A broken butler puppet. Yeah, I seem to remember someone on the second floor. Think it belongs to him? We gotta ask what happened sometime. Now's good.
Yeah, Gemini, unlike you, I don't have the memory of a cricket. I remember. He's literally right over there. So you get star fragments as just regular drops from enemies, so they definitely want you to use the summons. Oh, right. I could have just warped over here. Okay.
Ah, you're back! And you found... Oh, dear. Pulcinella. They really did a number on you. Pulcinella was proof that puppets possess true courage. I will not rest until I have revived him. But there will be ample time for that. First, I must thank you for a truly heroic piece of work. The factory is ours again. The puppets are going to be in a really bad shape after this. Let us return to the hotel and rest while we can.
I agree. Gotta be honest, I didn't even see the puppet at the end of the room. Alright, let's go level up and, you know, like, do all that stuff.